This is Tom and Paula Graves from Light of Christ Radio with a story from the Gospel of Mark.
You're welcome to watch this video simply for the story, or you can use it as the basis of a small group study.
Instructions for the small group study can be found below this video in the Show More section.
Today, we continue our series on the Gospel of Mark with the story of caring for outcasts from Mark 7.
Well, Paula, as we set the context of our story today, we see at this point in Jesus' ministry, he had gained a reputation for healing, and crowds mobbed him wherever he went.
Right, and the Jewish leadership, the Pharisees and scribes, also began to take notice of Jesus, but not in a positive way. They came to question and criticize him.
And Jesus appears to leave the Jewish area to escape the harassment by the Pharisees and scribes in our story.
Yet even there, the people in the Gentile areas surrounding Israel know of Jesus and his healing, which brings us to a story from the Word of God.
Then Jesus left Galilee and went north to the region of Tyre. He didn't want anyone to know which house he was staying in, but he couldn't keep it a secret.
Right away, a woman who had heard about him came and fell at his feet. Her little girl was possessed by an evil spirit, and she begged him to cast out the demon from her daughter. Since she was a Gentile, Jesus told her,
"First, I should feed the children, my own family, the Jews. It isn't right to take food from the children and throw it to the dogs."
And she replied, "That's true, Lord, but even the dogs under the table are allowed to eat scraps from the children's plates."
"Good answer," he said. "Now go home, for the demon has left your daughter."
And when she arrived home, she found her little girl lying quietly in bed, and the demon was gone.
Jesus left Tyre and went up to Sidon before going back to the Sea of Galilee and the region of the 10 towns. A deaf man with a speech impediment was brought to him, and the people begged Jesus to lay his hands on the man to heal him.
So Jesus led him away from the crowd so they could be alone. He put his fingers into the man's ears, and then, spitting on his own fingers, he touched the man's tongue. Looking up to heaven, he sighed and said,
"Be opened."
Instantly, the man could hear perfectly, and his tongue was freed so he could speak plainly.
Jesus told the crowd not to tell anyone, but the more he told them not to, the more they spread the news.
They were completely amazed and said again and again, "Everything he does is wonderful. He even makes the deaf to hear and gives speech to those who can't speak." And this is a story from the Word of God.
If you're using this video for a small group application, after you have watched this video, try retelling the story from what you heard.
Then read the text. Discussion questions are below in the Show More section.
May this story help you on your journey of life.
Be blessed.